Alrighty, good morning or good evening wherever you are in the world, and welcome to this live where I'm going to take you behind the scenes of what the Triathlon Nutrition Academy program looks like on the inside. So when you're a member and you're logged into the program, what does it actually look like? I'm a very visual person, so I know a lot of people want to actually see it. Like, what am I investing my time and money in? So I'm going to show you what that actually looks like, and I'm going to share my screen for you on Facebook. So if you do want to see my actual screen, jump on over to the Dietitian Approved Facebook page, but I will talk you through it here on Instagram as well. Hey, Sal, how are you? All right, so I'm going to start sharing my screen over here on Facebook. If you do want to jump over there, I won't be offended if you leave Insta and join me on Facebook so you can see what I'm looking at. And then I'll log into the Triathlon Nutrition Academy program and give you a walk around. Hello, everyone in Insta. Hey, Andres. Okay, so let me just get my screen sorted. I'll present, share my screen. Which screen do I want to show you? Got too many tabs open. It's been a busy week. I think it's this one. I've got my phone in front of my screen also. So, all right, share. Okay, so if you're on Facebook, you should be able to see my screen now. And this is what the back end looks like of the Academy program. So it's in you need to be logged into my website to see it. So all these menu bars up here are our main website, but you'll see that I'm actually logged in here. You can see my little favicon. That's my profile picture. So this is our program. And we have a 3-phase program. So over 9 months, each phase goes for 12 weeks or 3 months. So 3, 6, 9. I'm going to teach you everything that you need to know about triathlon nutrition. And I love to teach triathletes systematically and strategically so that it's not overwhelming and it's not more confusing, because I know that nutrition is honestly just a minefield out there. And a lot of you, I know that you read, and you listen to podcasts and you try and get all your information from Dr. Google and all these sorts of places. I have condensed 15 years of practice and all of the research into this one little spot for you so that you don't have to worry about all the noise that's going on, and you can just concentrate on doing what you need to do. So I'm just going to skip over our athlete discounts because we get some pretty cool discounts inside the program for products and services that I know that you need and are good and are evidence-based and are actually going to make you be a better triathlete, not because I'm getting paid to recommend any of them. So all of them are I don't get paid for any of it, because I want you to know that if I suggest something and I recommend something, it's because it's actually good, not because I'm getting paid to recommend it. And I think that's a really important point, because a lot of supplement companies will pay coaches, training groups, training platforms to push their product. And that's fine, whatever, that's totally up to them. But I would prefer that if I recommend something to you, I'm basically Switzerland. I'm going to suggest things that are good, not because I'm getting paid to suggest them for you. So they do get some discounts, which I'm not going to show you because that's for members only. And then you'll see here down the side that we've got all of our modules or masterclasses for each week. So this is our phase 1, our fundamentals. And through the first phase, we work on building your day-to-day nutrition and making sure you have a meal plan set that's specific and custom and perfect for you to get you the best bang for your buck out of training. So I want you to make sure that if you're doing a session, you are maximizing all of those training adaptations that your training program is designed for. Hey, Erin. Hey, JC Burke. So we start with recovery nutrition and pre-training nutrition. These are the first 2 masterclasses that we go through as the program, because I know that that's where you're going to get the biggest advantage, is if you can get your bookends, your sandwiches around your training sessions right in the beginning, because a lot of triathletes work on their nutrition from the sprinkles backwards. In fact, they probably don't even do the backwards part, but I'm a firm believer in building your nutrition from a solid foundation all the way up so that those sprinkles have something to stick to on the icing on your cake. Okay. And there's no point doing those sprinkles and 1%ers if there is not basics of triathlon nutrition like recovery and pre-training organized. You have to have those things first. So there's method to the madness. There's a reason I teach you that first and up front, because it is one of the most important things that you need to get right, because triathletes suck at recovery. No offense. It's honestly, like said from a place of love. But working with triathletes for 15 years now, I know that you suck at it until you've got a little bit of information and you know how to dial your plan in for you, and then it's smooth sailing, and then you don't suck anymore. Then over the next 2 weeks of phase 1, we work on building your meal plan. So you've got making sure that every single day and every type of training session, you know what you're doing with your food. That is super, super important. And I can talk to you until I'm blue in the face about the theory and the science and the research, but practically you need to know what to put in your mouth, because 80% of your health and your performance comes from what you put in your mouth. It doesn't come from those blow up recovery boot things. It doesn't come from the latest gel that is hot off the market. It comes from the small changes that you do every single day. Compound those over time. It's kind of like compound interest. It's those little things consistently that you do that are going to give you the biggest advantage. So in the first 4 weeks of our program, we're straight in. You'll have a meal plan for your training week, and it'll be periodized to your training. So we need to make sure that we're not eating the same way all the time. I was actually speaking to someone earlier this morning who's just been on a set calorie target every day. That doesn't work for us as triathletes, because every single training day looks completely different. We need to understand how to fuel and recover differently and strategically. Go away, Siri. I'm not talking to you, Siri. Go away. Go away. Sorry. Siri on my computer. I must have said something that sounded like Siri. We need to eat differently on a lighter training day versus a moderate training day versus like a hard training day. And you don't need to count calories and track your energy expenditure to understand how to do that. I just need to show you how to practically eat to support those types of days. And a common mistake that people do is they under eat or under fuel or underperform on those bigger, longer endurance days, and then play catch up on their rest and recovery days. And we don't really want to be doing that either. We want to be able to match our fueling to the demands of training. And it's really easy when you know how to do that without having to get bogged down in the details of numbers and counting and tracking and all those sorts of things. So I'm going to show you the easier way to do it. Then we talk about 2 really important nutrients that are important for triathletes, iron and calcium. We do that first up the front as well. It's a big fundamental that's important for your long-term health and performance, and making sure you're getting enough of that, particularly calcium. If you are a non-dairy person, whether you are intolerant or you just avoid it or you're a vegan athlete, then we need to be really strategic. How you going, Nath? We need to be really strategic around how we get our calcium then if you're not a dairy-based eater. And then we round out phase 1, our foundations, with the fundamentals of our ride fuel and our run fuel. I love to call the ride the rolling buffet, and you'll learn why when you're inside the program, as well as running, like eating on your feet. It's so different, and we need to set our nutrition up differently for both of these things. So we've got a few little tips and tricks for you there as well. We start to set some fundamentals with our fueling targets and how we practically and logistically do that for both of those modalities. So that is phase 1. Phase 2, as we go through the program, skip through those discounts again. That's for us only. Phase 2, so at the end of each phase, we have bonus modules that go through some extra things that I know that you need, but maybe not necessarily that you thought that you needed. So first one is just getting yourself organized, because there's no point learning about this stuff if you don't action it. So I'm going to show you the easiest way to get organized with your nutrition and set yourself up for success, because I know how time poor you are. I know how many things you juggle and how many things that you do in life. And so I want to make sure that you can do this, but in the easiest way possible. Like, my job is to make your whole nutrition journey easy. It's not to make it harder. We're also going to talk about how to read a food label. And that is really important because we kind of build on this knowledge as we go through the program when we start looking at sports products and what's good for you in terms of sports nutrition products. Because they're confusing beasts, honestly. And I look at them all the time, and I get like, there's so much marketing BS, and they do crafty little things, and you need to understand how they actually got to that label, and then how to then navigate through reading that. So I'm going to teach you that. Mindful eating. Thanks, Lena. Lena on Facebook. I can't find my mouse. Best nutrition science and evidence-based info I've ever attended and followed. It's really worth it. Yeah, I didn't pay Lena to say that. Thank you, Lena. Lena is our resident vet, and she's just about to start phase 2 of the program. So thank you, Lena. I love your work. We do have doors open right now also, I should probably say. I'm going live every day to really just help triathletes with some of the foundations of nutrition, and opening doors to my Triathlon Nutrition Academy program if you are looking for some help. dietitianapproved.com/academy. Come and join us. We close doors down on the weekend, and then they won't open again until January 2024. All right, so bonus modules are a good little wrap up of phase 1, and just making sure that you've got a few things organized and we're cementing that knowledge before we move on to phase 2. Hey, Pat. And then we're moving on to phase 2 here, where we're kind of taking our nutrition to the next level a little bit. And we're starting to look at a lot of our race nutrition principles, which is really important. So carbohydrate loading, we're straight into phase 2. We don't mess around. We're efficient. Carbohydrate loading is really important as an endurance athlete, but nobody knows how to do it. And I'm just going to show you how to do it, and we're going to develop a specific and custom plan for you. And that's really important. You can pull, thank you, whoever that was. Was that, that was probably Marla, my trusty sidekick who's keeping me in check this week. Good work, Marla. Marla's just popped that link up on Facebook for me, dietitianapproved.com/academy. So you can pull a carb loading plan from the internet. It is likely to fail. You might think that you're doing a good job, but it's not going to be right for you. It's not going to be set up and designed for you, and you're not going to actually get those advantages from carbohydrate loading if you do that. So I'm going to show you how to calculate a plan that's specific for you. We've got, actually, I'm not even going to tell you how to do it because I don't want you Googling it, because you just need to understand how to do it for yourself. And then we're going to build it based on foods that you like in the easy way rather than the hard way. I've carb loaded in the hard way as an experiment for myself to see, like, I pulled a plan off the internet and tried it to be like, what is this going to do? And that was not fun, let me tell you. So there's definitely better ways to carb load than others. And I'm also going to explain to you why it's so important and the types of races that we want to do it for and the timing and all those sorts of things. So carb loading, and then we do hydration. And I'm going to show you how to understand your specific hydration needs, which is really important as well, because your hydration changes all the time. On like a day-to-day basis, it changes by up to 10%. And so blanketly just trying to drink 2 liters of water a day is not going to benefit us as a triathlete. Again, we don't want to be doing the same things all the time. We want to be thinking more strategically around our nutrition and fueling and hydrating so that we are not running the risk of dehydration, because we know that dehydration negatively affects our performance. So we don't want to ever be in that dehydration hole. We also calculate your pre-race meal. And again, that's specific and custom to you, and making sure you do have a plan for that and you're not just winging it or just constantly eating as you head into the race start, into your start line, because that's also not going to end so well. Then to round out phase 2, keep forgetting those discounts sit there. We're going to map out your exact sprint and Olympic distance race nutrition plans and make sure you have a plan from like what you're doing leading in, during the race, like your pre-race meal, what you're doing on the bike, run, recovery, and out the back the other side as well. Because once we cross the finish line, it's not all over Red Rover. We have to keep thinking further to make sure we're recovering really well post-race. We start to tackle some of the performance boosters that are good and evidence-based, and I'm going to give you targets and specifics for how much you need for you and what products we can use to get there, not sponsored, based on whatever it is that you want to use, but how to actually do that in the easiest way, because it kind of goes both ways. People either over-caffeinate or under-caffeinate and have no idea how to do that properly, and then end up like running to the Portaloo or having horrific gut issues or never being able to sleep again. So I'm just going to cut through all that noise and show you how to do that properly. Managing hot races. Erin, if you're still around, Erin is in a very hot environment through this summer in the US. And she's been playing around with implementing these strategies lately for her hot races, and just making sure that you think about your racing differently for a hot race versus something that's in a cooler, more temperate environment. Because again, they should be different, right? Hopefully, if you've been listening to me for a while, you should understand that we just can't do the same thing all the time. We actually need to manipulate our strategies based on lots of different factors. And I'm going to show you how to do that so that we're not just mediocre triathletes. We're actually supercharged. And then our last session for phase 2 is multiple transportable carbohydrates, and understanding what on earth that term means, how to find products that are useful and beneficial and don't cost you an arm and a leg, and when that is going to be important as well, so that you're using it when you need to and you're not using it when you don't need to. And there's a lot of noise in that space at the moment, so I'm going to sort of fast track you through that. Then our bonus modules for phase 2, we dive deep into gels and sports drinks, plus muscle cramps and alcohol. You guys still with me? I'm going to lose my voice at the end of the week for sure. All right, phase 3. So this is another big one. Phase 3, we are taking things up to the next level. So everything that we've learned so far in the program, we are building on that knowledge for phase 3 so that you come away from it knowing so much stuff, but I didn't throw all the complicated, heavy stuff at you right in the beginning. So we revisit our day-to-day nutrition and talk about what does that look like when we go from doing shorter course events, off-season general training type thing into, all right, now I'm training for a full distance Ironman type event. How do we manipulate our nutrition for that so that we don't fall into a hole and end up in low energy availability? We talk about getting to your ideal race weight and what that looks like, and how to do that strategically without falling into a hole or eating away at your muscles, and lots of other things there around my philosophy with race weight and performance, and just making sure you are the best possible athlete that you can be. We talk about gut training and making sure that you know how to do that and when that's important and how that whole thing works, because there's no like evidence-based guidelines for how to gut train. It's individual, but we need to strategically kind of set that up so that you are training your gut to absorb as much nutrition while you're exercising, when like eating and digesting is counterintuitive to hardcore exercise. So we have to teach our gut to do that. I'm going to show you how to do that so you don't end up in the Portaloo. Then we're going to talk about fueling long rides and fueling long runs. So we're kind of layering on our knowledge from phase 1 around what we do in these modalities on the bike, on the run. And again, taking it up to the next level around that so that we are building our nutrition as we are getting better at our nutrition over time. And then the back end's pretty big, but we write out your exact 70.3 and full distance Ironman 140.6 race nutrition plans. And you have a specific and custom plan for you for both of those distances that includes everything in the lead up, race evening, race morning, on the day, recovery, and out the other side. So it's a big holistic plan that encompasses that entire race. It's not just what you do on the bike and what you do on the run. We also tackle sodium and hydration in here too, which are A really important factor for the longer course stuff. Hey, brides, what you doing on my live? Sodium, we need to talk about where we're at with the research with sodium, how to figure out how much sodium you need, how to get it, all those types of things. And we tackle that at the end of phase 3. And then we also do have some bonus modules at the end of phase 3 too. So talking about race recovery beyond just, that initial phase, some more performance boosters and some sprinkles back here, finding that balance again so that you don't blow out after a race or completely go off the rails and then have to work really hard to get back into race season. And we talk about a few extra things in the back there too. So that is what the program looks like. I'm going to just jump back into phase 1 for you so that you can see inside what an actual lesson looks like. So if I jump into Ride Feel here, so you've got your pre-recorded masterclass. It's just loading. Actually, no, it's not. I've got to click in there. Your pre-recorded masterclass here. They go for, hey, Jai, they go for 30 to 60 minutes, depending on what we're talking about. So this one's 52 minutes for Ride Fuel. So you can watch that anytime that you like at your own pace. They drop on the weekend for you. So they drop at 5 o'clock Saturday morning, Brisbane time. If you're in the US or Canada, they drop at about lunchtime on a Friday. So you've got the weekend to go through that when you're more likely to have a bit more time. And a lot of our athletes actually listen. The program's available on the phone app. So you can listen to me. Sounds weird, but you can listen to it while you're going for your long run, or listen to it while you're doing a wind trainer session or going for a long ride. So you don't have to be sitting down with a notepad and pen at a computer going through it if you don't want to. If that's the way you learn, absolutely go for it. But most people in their first pass listen to it when they're exercising or they're driving or something like that. And then you also have some worksheets. So we've got the slides that you get and the worksheet to manage your long ride nutrition, whatever it is that we're working on. We also go live every week for Power Hour for the first 8 weeks of each phase. And this is where you can talk to me about anything. Pick my brain, use my advanced sports dietitian brain to your advantage. Whatever it is that you need for you, talk to me about it. And if you can't make it, there's a spot here where you can put your questions in and I will always answer that live for you. And Power Hours do get recorded, loaded into your library in here, and we timestamp it. So underneath the video, we timestamp it here so that you can go, okay, Taryn answered my question at 4 minutes and 52 seconds. Jump to that in the video and you can just watch me answering your question if you don't want to go through the whole thing. Come live if you can, but we do have people in the program that are in the UK and our Power Hour session is 11 o'clock at night or something. Don't expect you to turn up for that, but it is recorded for anyone that can't make it. Academy athletes also do have the option to book a one-on-one session with me. Now, this is not something that I do anymore. I don't have this available to the public, but as an Academy member, you have the ability to book that with me. So you can book a 60-minute private one-on-one session with me at any time through the program. If there's something that's really specific that you want me to help you with, we can go through your 70.3 race nutrition plan together, spend an hour diving into all of the details, all of the numbers, all of the products, and I can help fast track you through that. We also do cover things like that in Power Hour, but if for any reason you just want me to yourself for an hour, that is totally fine, and you have the ability to do that as an Academy member, but not as the general public. The other things that you get access to as part of, I keep forgetting that that's there. The other things that you get access to as part of the Academy is my entire recipe database. And inside are over 150 healthy, nutritious, delicious recipes that are designed for the active person. So they are the right amount of protein for you. They are scalable carbohydrates, which is really important when you're an endurance athlete. They have lots of vitamins and minerals, which we have higher needs for as an endurance athlete. So they're perfectly balanced and they're designed with you in mind so that you can pick and choose and pull from those and know and be confident that what you're eating is serving you. Because there's nothing more frustrating than spending hours trying to find recipes on the internet, and then they have no nutritional information, so you have no idea what sort of targets it's hitting, and then you cook it and you use every bloody pot that you've got in your kitchen and you make a huge mess and it still doesn't taste any good. So I've designed everything with maximum flavor and relatively quick cooks. Like most of the recipes can be made in 30 minutes or less, because I don't want you on your feet slaving away cooking for hours with complicated ingredients. You just want to eat, and you want it to hit the right boxes, and you want it to taste really good. So all of my recipes are designed like that. I'm also giving you an entire year of a meal plan that is dinners only, because I want you to customize everything else for yourself. But I can map out all of your dinners if you just get so stressed and overwhelmed with deciding what to eat for the week. And I'm going to give you the meals, the shopping list to get everything that you need to cook that, as well as the recipe to go and follow if you want to do that. Now, some people kind of dip in and dip out of that. Particularly useful if you're away or on holidays or something like that, and you come home and you've got nothing in the fridge ready to go. The cupboard's empty. Thank you, Marla. Marla's giving you access, showing you the recipe database URL while I'm at it. dietitianapproved.com/recipes gives you access to my free recipes. You can dive in there and look at the recipe database and the menu planning. All of those things you can purchase outside of the academy as well, if you did want to do that. So yeah, a lot of people will use that. They'll download that menu plan for the week when they're still away or on their way home, do an online shop or online order for everything on that list, pick it up on the way home, and that's your meals done for the week. Ta-da. And you didn't have to do anything. It probably took you 15 minutes to online order. So things like that I have given you inside the program to really set you up for success. Like my job is to make this whole eating nutrition process easier for you, not more complicated. So all of the tools and resources that you get in the program are designed to help that. What else do you get? You also get access to our free and awesome Triathlon Nutrition Academy community. Now, this is the funnest part of the program, is power hours and getting to meet triathletes all over the world, plus also connecting in our private community group. So in there, we throw lots of banter. We high five each other for races that are coming up. We share products and new things on the market and talk about those. People share their carb loading plans and what they're up to for their racing. We share hydration plans. We do lots of that supportive kind of camaraderie chat around anything to do with triathlon nutrition. Sometimes we're like, okay, what are the best running shorts to run with that mine keep riding up my clacker? Like whatever it is that you want to talk about, it is a safe place to talk about triathlon nutrition, post food photos without any form of judgment. And I've just discovered yesterday that one of our phases, the guys that have just finished, have created their own little secret side group without me so that they can all continue to talk to each other post the program. So you really do make friends all over the world, and I've loved watching those relationships evolve over time. So we do have doors open at the moment. They are closing down on the weekend for the final time this year. I won't reopen them again until January 2024. So if you do want to join us, this is your kick in the butt to sort it out. dietitianapproved.com/academy if you want to come in. What are we, Thursday now? You've got 3 days. You've got a bit less than 3 days to make a decision. So I'm here all week. If you want to ask me anything, feel free to pop anything in the comment section below as well if you're watching along or watching the replay too and want to ask me anything. I will be jumping on live soon in about an hour with Christine, who's one of our Academy athletes. She's jumping on Facebook only. She's not an Instagram user. Total weirdo. No, just joking. She's awesome. Whoops, got to stop showing those. If you do want to talk to one of the Academy athletes about what their experiences are, because I've been talking about this all week, so it's nice to have someone that is in the same camp as you should us share what they're working on and what they're up to with their nutrition and how things have changed for them. So that is what the program looks like for the lovely people watching along on Facebook. Any questions, please let me know. If there's anything else you want to look at right now, let me know and I can click around, except for those athlete discounts. You can't see those. But if there's anything that I can show you, please let me know. But that is our 3 phases, everything that's included in them and what it actually looks like. This is like me logged into the program so that you can see what the back end looks like. Whew. All right. Any questions, please give me a holler. Otherwise, it will jump off so that the people watching the replay later on have a nice, concise, efficient replay to watch. That's, good summary of how I roll. And if I do jump off and you have a question or you want to secret squirrel me, just send me a DM. But doors are closing in less than 3 days now. And every time I do this, I have I have multiple people email me the day after saying, I missed it. So if you are interested and you're thinking about it, sooner rather than later, because once doors shut, they shut. Like I run live. We do our power hours live every week. So if you miss that doors closing, then that's it until January. Sorry. There's no sneaky side way in afterwards. It's like now or never. So don't wait to the last minute and then get your time zones confused and then miss it, because that happens every time as well. All right. Thank you so much to everyone watching along. Any questions, please let me know. Thank you, Lena, for the shout out. Love your work, Lena. And yeah, I'll jump on live in an hour's time with Christine as well. So it's another time to catch me if you do want to ask me questions, or send me a secret squirrel, send me a DM.